welcome you all to one more online talk. This event is promoted by First Class, a language studio, not a school. And a studio because we believe everybody learns in a different way. And so we respect that. And even when you guys are in a group, we focus on the individuals. Yeah, and above all, we believe that we learn much more when we're having fun. Yeah, so I'm your host, Patricia Portela, and today we are here to talk to Ron, yeah, about why Brazil. And the purpose of online talk. So for the next hour, you're going to have the opportunity to get in touch with cool people from this planet, Mother Earth, practicing English. Yeah. So the people you are going to listen, they are going to be speaking English, and they might be language learners, language teachers, language trainers, native speakers, or just travelers, or even just our friends. Yeah. And can you interact? Sure, you should. And you must. Yeah? Ask questions, share your own experience, and that's what we are here for, to share our experiences. Have fun, right? How long does it take? It usually takes 1 hour. No, not usually. It takes 1 hour. And in my opinion, it's pretty short time, yeah? So each online talk has like two hosts at least, or one host and a guest. And we choose a topic to get started. And then only God knows what the future holds, yeah? Because what comes next, yeah? And after we have the introductions, you also have, yeah, you guys, the opportunity to introduce yourselves briefly. You don't have to, but you are encouraged to, yeah. And after that, Ron will, of course, Ron, you are going to introduce yourself as well, yeah. But then you will start answering our questions, okay? And every time
Perfect.
you guys, you want to say something, just like unmute your microphone, wave, or just say like, hey, I have a question, or just start with the question. All right? Arthur, anything I've forgotten?
Hmm. Oh yeah, and as always, if you want, you can turn on the subtitles. If you go down here in the three dots, you click on that, and then you turn on subtitles for us. It's just in English, but it might help. So yeah, there you go. But sometimes it's distracting too, so it's your call.
Okay. Well, Ron, oh, just something else just for you to have some clue. When we started with this thing about the online talk, one of the hard points to have people coming here for the conversation club, because conversation club, there is no option. They have to speak. They talk, okay? Here, it's, like, okay, they can just have fun listening to our conversation, yeah? And of course,
More
they
optional.
and it's yeah, and but it's hard for me not to provoke them. So I promise I'll try. You are the person I can ask the questions. Yeah. So can you please start introducing yourself briefly, and then after you, Arthur goes, and any other person who feels like doing it. And
So you would
after
like you
that,
would
I
like
will
me to
tell
go
them how
first,
I
and then
met.
Arthur is gonna go next. Is that the
Yeah, that's it. Cool.
okay?
Your name, where you're from.
All right, I got you. All right, so you guys, this is every conference, everywhere you do, you have to introduce yourself, stand up, and say something interesting about yourself, right? So let's see. I'm Ron Steinmetz. I'm 35. Unfortunately, I'm not in my early teens as Mariana, unfortunately, but I will turn 36 this year. I've been married for 10 years to my wonderful wife who annoys me. We have 10 dogs. So if during here you hear one of these dogs, I have no control over them. I just want to make that clear.
Which one?
Which ones I have? I have Saint Bernards. I
You
have
have.
Great Dane. But all of them are adopted except one. So that we have a lot of big dogs, small dogs, medium size, too many dogs, basically.
Awesome.
What else about me? I've lived in Japan as well for 2 years. I was in the Marines. I was in the military. I was stationed in Okinawa. I know a little Japanese. I've taken some German courses because I went to Catholic school and it's from the German side. What else is interesting? traveled a lot. I think I would like to travel more, but obviously now I have a son, so a lot of the focus goes towards him. But we still travel around Brazil a lot. I like to think that I travel around Brazil more than Brazilians for some odd reason. So it's a lovely country. I think
And
that's good, right?
yeah, and where were you born?
I was born in Ohio. I was actually born in Toledo. I was raised mostly in Tiffin. I went to college in Columbus, which is in Ohio as well. It's the capital. It's like, if you look at Ohio, it looks like the Transformer head. It's the exact same shape. It's right below the Great Lakes. So, and then right at smack in the middle is Columbus, which makes sense for a capital, right?
Right. Cool. Cool. Okay. I'll go next. I'm Arthur. I'm 25 years old. I am an English trainer at First Class too. I'm also an engineering student. Um, I've lived in Ireland for 1 year a while ago, and also traveled a bit around. And I don't know, my hobbies are languages, and I'm studying a little bit of German as well. And I like video games too. It's how I learn English, most of it. But yeah, so that's it. Who's next?
And
Oh,
you've
sorry.
been here for years, yeah.
Oh yeah, with First Class, 4 years. Yeah.
I need to stop repeating that because when one of the other teachers, they asked me, Can you remember how long I've been here?" And I have to think they become jealous. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah. Next one. I can go.
Okay. Volunteers.
So I'm not in my early 20s or mid 30s. Yeah, not that lucky as you guys. Oh, by the way, this month it's going to be my birthday on the 14th. Yeah, 43 springs already. Yeah. I was born here in Ponta Grossa in the south of Brazil. I lived in America for 2 years with my parents in around like New Jersey. Yeah, in the state of New Jersey in 2 different towns. And also in Paranaguá, but then when I returned to Ponta Grossa, I just stayed here. And I really love foreign languages. Yeah, I majored in languages, Portuguese and English. I've been studying English formally, like helping people learn English for 26 years. It's going to be now in October. And I founded First Class 8 years ago. Yeah, it was not the first school I had. The first one was in 2007, but I didn't really adapt to the system of a traditional schools. I had 4 different, franchisings, license, and then I founded First Class. Yeah, and First Class has also a sister company, which is a travel agency. Yeah, we love traveling. Yeah. And that's pretty much what I really like doing: traveling, meeting people, talking, cooking, eating, yeah, and learning foreign languages. I can communicate in French, Spanish. I keep studying English, and I'm learning also Italian by now. Anybody else would like to introduce yourself? Oh, I see a lot of faces. I promised I wouldn't go. Yeah, okay, I can wait.
I can go.
Oh, cool.
So my name is Mariana. I am 19 years old. I am an English teacher and an English training. It's different. I am studying French too, and that's it.
Thank you, Mari. I can remember when Mari was just like 13 and she would be embarrassed to say that she was 13, like, oh, yeah, so young. You didn't grow up that much, yeah? Oh. Anybody else would like to introduce yourself? We love listening to your voices.
And we do have a chat too. If you're feeling shy, we can also type your introduction.
Yeah, please. So Ron can know where you guys are, where you're from, what you do, your connection with English. Oh, Ilza just sent us a message saying that she is at the hospital with her mother. Okay. Thanks for being there, Ilza, and best.
Hello, Maria Ilza.
She has really nice hair, blonde.
It's usually the first thing we notice. Oh, there it
Yeah.
is.
Oh, you can see her.
I was gonna say I don't really mention or talk about hair too much since it seems to be disappearing.
Right.
Ron, I met Ilza last century. Oh, I also promised not to repeat that. Sorry. But it was last year when we went to Sicily and Italy together that I met her better. She's a great adventurer. Anybody else would like to introduce yourself? Oh, please, Kleber, connect. Oh, there's somebody here who would like to introduce himself.
Hi!
Oh, hi. This is not an introduction.
Oh, come on.
That's Kleber from Buenos Aires, our... And you know, the studio has a psychoanalyst. So that's clever.
Who speaks English? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, while the next person decides to introduce him or herself, I will tell you a little bit about Ron. Can I, Ron?
Yeah, go ahead. As long as it's good things, right?
So I met Ron some weeks ago when I was traveling with Guy, and we spent two days, 2 days at your place. And what I can say is that, Ron, I've always received people at home and people that I didn't know, couch surfers. And here in Ponta Grossa, they would tell me, I would hear things like, oh, you're crazy. You don't know the people and you host them. Man, you haven't met Ron. Ron is married to Shayla. He will answer your questions if you ask him about. And as far as I can remember, you guys knew Camila, yeah?
Just Camila, yeah.
Just Camila. And then Camila knew the other couples and the other people, and they friendly, warmly received us there for that weekend, yeah? And Ron,
I've never had so many bikers in my house, basically.
So if you ask him about the experience, he will tell you. And I can tell you that no filters, yeah? Or the little that I know of you. So thank you for the hospitality that day. And thank you for rearranging your agenda, your schedule for being here today, yeah? I don't remember if you told them that you're also a teacher. Have you told them?
I have not.
Okay. Oh, yeah, we have the next hour for that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have bad memory. Yeah, but by the way, ask Ron questions. Yeah, one of the things that I really learned in those few days that I spent with him is to admire the way that you see life, Ron. Yeah. And I'm Brazilian. There are things about Brazil that I like, other things that I don't approve. And usually people ask me where I am from. So sometimes I feel that I don't really fit in. Yeah, so that's normal. And I really look up to you, you know, the way you see things. And that's nice. You should share that with people. Yeah. So next one, to introduce yourself, or maybe we can get started. Cynthia also sent us a message. She's having problems with her microphone and camera. But can you hear us? I guess so. Okay. Let's go ahead then.
I guess we can start. Yes. And as we go, remember, you can tell us your questions anytime. You can turn on your microphone, ask a question, interrupt us. It's okay. Or you can type it too. We will keep an eye on the chat. Yeah, but we would love to hear your voice, like always.
Exactly. Okay. It's nice to see your smile, Dr. Carlos.
It is.
Mr. Bean. Okay. I will behave myself. All right. Well, Ron, would you like to ask the first question, Arthur?
I mean, I'm not sure where to start. So you said you're married. How did you meet your wife? Was it here or was it there?
Okay, what did they say? The long short version, right? Something like this.
Sure.
So it actually not that crazy. So I finished up with the military, and when I came back to Ohio, I went back to where I studied, and there's a lot of jobs there. So I went there to work, and then the college campus, there's a lots of bars and stuff like this,
Hmm.
and of course I would frequent them because I was much younger, more like Mariana back in the day, more active. And there's a bar there. We call it's called Outer Inn, and they have dollar beers on Sunday nights and Monday nights, which are like the slowest nights. So you take your mug and you get a dollar Budweiser, and you just keep refilling your cup. So one Sunday night, I was there
Awesome.
and I saw with my friend two people that look out of place. You know, it's very easy to spot, right? A foreigner. I didn't know Brazilian, but I knew something was different.
Yeah.
And so then we went walking around the bar, and of course we came back to what would become my wife, and then her friend Daniela. And
Oh, cool.
then from there we started talking. Actually, my friend started talking to my wife first, but
Oh,
it wasn't going well, so we switched.
fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
And then the rest is history. I got married 6 months later, and
Oh,
then she came back to Brazil because she
Six
spent two.
months later.
that's very
Yeah,
short.
yes, it's ridiculously short.
Uh-huh.
No.
But I mean, it means that it was like, I mean, it worked out really well from the start.
No, we have our bumps, but
I mean, of course, yeah. But
but no,
cool.
it was great. But I couldn't come back to basically was I couldn't come back to Brazil. Not that I couldn't. She gave me an ultimatum, like if you want to be with me, you need to marry me. My parents will not accept you coming to Brazil and staying with us if it's not, in holy
Oh,
matrimony.
okay.
Can you please repeat the sentence? No, just kidding.
But I mean, so it is, and then you came over to visit after you were married. You came to visit the family.
No, no, it was like this. I stayed and I worked more and sent money
Oh,
back. So to help pay, because we got married in the US and then we had a bigger wedding in Brazil. She
oh,
has an extended family.
uh-huh.
So yeah, actually she gave me a second ultimatum because I was making good money and I was supposed to come back to Brazil. I think it was in July. And then it was August and then she said, "Hey, if you don't come back by so and so date, stay." So
Ooh,
then I came in September really quick.
sure. And it was your
Yes.
first time
Is
in Brazil?
Sheila around?
Oh, sorry.
Yes, of course, yeah, first time.
Okay. And is she around?
Is my
Like,
yes, my wife?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like, could she
She's
say
out
hi so they
she's
can see who you are talking about?
she's outside in her bathing suit with the dogs.
Never mind.
That's fine. That's fine. But awesome. Yeah. Um, yeah. And okay. And how long ago was that? It was 10 years ago?
Yeah, well, yeah, I've been in Brazil just a little over, I would say 10 years and like a few weeks because I came on the 12th of September. So last
Oh,
month I celebrated my decade in Brazil, right?
oh,
I
okay.
survived Brazil, right?
Well done.
Tell
Well
me
done.
more about it.
Yeah.
All right. And in this time, was it like just in Brazil, or did you do trips back home?
I went back home for my friend's wedding, this kind of stuff,
Oh,
but
cool.
mostly here because all of the vacation time, I want to see Brazil. I've lived in the U.S. most of my life, so
Hmm.
what? Why would I go back home?
Right. Cool. Nice. Yeah, and like you said, that's more than most of us do about around the traveling. Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
and before we end up talking more about Brazil, Ron,
Hmm.
you said you lived for 2 years in Japan.
Yes, in Okinawa, they don't really consider it Japan because they're like their own subculture. But yeah, I lived there for 2 years on the base. It's Camp Schwab. It's actually the base is the furthest away from everything because I dealt with the ammunition and bombs because we have
Oh.
the ammo supply point there.
Hmm.
So it's far away from everything. Very beautiful, but you do a lot of walking every day and going to the different magazines and taking care of the ammunition and weapons.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and you stayed there for 2 years.
Yes, yes, it was very fun.
Fair enough.
I think somebody asked the question,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
many states have you visited in Brazil?
Yeah.
Said we would start talking about Brazil and would never stop.
It's gonna happen.
Before
Yeah.
you start talking about Brazil, you learned Japanese
Yeah, some
and
Japanese. To be honest, I learned just enough to talk to women. I was very young, so very
Makes
focused
sense.
language
Makes
training.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's where you can practice after all, right? It's
yes, exactly.
true, true. Cool.
I guess they could speak English, yeah.
Yeah, and did you think
Not
it
all of
was?
them.
Oh,
Not all of them.
No, most of them didn't. But you can talk on your cell phone. I had a girlfriend and we never spoke English ever. We just used our cell phone and talked. She would go to the bar with me and she would sit there and giggle and then she would send messages.
oh, and
Yeah.
Techno.
yeah, fair enough. And what did you think about the Japanese? Was it hard to catch that?
Writing is impossible, but like any language, picking up the expressions, I think it's not so hard.
Hmm.
But the writing, I wasn't even going to attempt it.
Right. And there's two of them, right? There's two different ways.
Yes, different ways. Yeah, each one not so fun.
Oh yeah.
And was there any kind of cultural shock?
I think like the food, obviously, is completely different. But you have to remember, anytime you live near an American base, the community around will start to cater to the base because it's an influx of money.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So, how many states have you visited in Brazil? Cynthia is asking.
To be honest with you, I don't know. I would have to sit down and look at a map, but I've gone all over the Northeast, the South we love. We even went down to the South by car, and I really, surprisingly, love Rio de Janeiro. Everyone says it's dangerous, but I guess I like danger. So, but yeah, I love it.
Nice.
Oh,
Really?
and awesome. And I mean, what do you prefer visiting? Is it the nature or is it the cities?
I want to go to the beach and drink a caipirinha.
Oh, nice. Sounds awesome, to be honest. Sounds.
I don't want to go work. Like, usually my wife is like the planner. Not usually, she is the planner. So she plans everything. But I always request one day for me to do nothing, my off day, and one day where she stresses me out.
Going sightseeing.
Yes, exactly. All day long, you know?
Uh-huh. I mean, yeah, it's a nice balance. It's a nice balance.
Yes.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, when you came to Brazil, can you tell us a little what it was like, the differences, what you liked, what you didn't about?
Sure. Let's see here. For me, I always recall of course, right, getting off the plane. So you had the long flight. You feel horrible. You're dirty. You smell a little bit. You're tired of seeing people because that's all you've seen for the whole flight. I think I learned a couple words on the plane. The guy taught me "cala a boca," which didn't help me because you can't tell your wife that. And the simple stuff. Seeing like this. Then I got off the plane and I saw my wife and her family were there. They had the name card and stuff. And then we got in the car and it's a 2-hour drive from Sao Paulo to Mojimirim. And it's the first time in my life I saw so much graffiti. And you see the derelict buildings, right? So you're a Brazilian slum. So I thought that was a little off-putting, to say the least. I thought, some people call graffiti art, but I didn't see the artistic side. Thought it was vandalism. Then so then my hopes started going down, I was and then we got to our house, and then her parents' house at the beginning was it's a nice house, simple, and then over time we've improved greatly, and they have another house as well. So I was never accustomed to. I've lived simply as well, but I wasn't accustomed to Brazil simple.
Which was
No, what?
different.
Yes.
Really?
But the family factor was probably the hardest part for me because I'm not close to my family. So, and her family is the exact opposite, right? It's smothering
Too many. Oh, man.
all the time. Yes. And her father didn't like tattoos, which I found out when I arrived.
Immediately.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
How many tattoos did you have by
I
that
just
time?
I just have three because I got in Okinawa. I have two Rottweilers on my back, and then I have in Japanese on my leg. I have family written. But the problem is like, so I went to get in the pool, and my wife said, "Hey, wear a T-shirt," just to not offend, not to make her father angry already.
Too early.
Yeah, it was too. Yeah, I saved a little bit of time before I made that happen.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Was it worth it?
The what making him angry?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, no. So waiting for it. Waiting.
I probably should have just done it the first day.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
To be honest.
That's what I usually tell people, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Hello.
Claudinea sent a message, a question actually, asking about food. What are your preferences in
Oh,
Brazilian
there's
food?
my wife, but I don't think she's gonna say hi. But my preferences are, let's see here. Number one, I love feijoada.
Oh,
I love it. Yeah,
it's awesome.
it's simple but delicious.
Right?
But you can't eat it. You can only eat it for me. I only eat feijoada when it's cold. So
Oh, really?
for me, it's like soup is a cold weather food.
Oh. Oh, okay. You mean the weather? Okay, I thought
Yeah.
the feijoada was cold. I was
No,
confused.
not like pizza. No, 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 no.
Okay, okay. Right.
Ron can cook pretty well.
Oh, can
I
he?
mean, I'm no ghee, but I do pretty good.
Oh, but I remember you were teaching him some lessons.
Oh,
Yes, about spice and making the client happy.
You know, Ron is not like very competitive. No.
No, not. But I did tell Guy when he woke up in the morning that he lost a couple times.
Tell them the story.
We were doing burgers, obviously, so we were helping each other, and then of course I proposed the idea, let's see who eats all of their burgers. And my 3 burgers were completely cleaned off the plate, and his was 1.5 were eaten. So it was a little, yeah, I felt bad for him.
And were
Okay,
you?
I have to defend Guy because by the end of the day they were full, yeah, and the 3 first people to get their burgers, they were hungry. He's gonna watch this later, yeah.
I can't wait. Hey Guy, don't forget.
This time.
But yeah, back to the food. So if you want the feijoada, I would say is number 1. I like the other soup. What is it? Mandioca. Yeah, mandioquinha, whatever. I really like that soup. It's pretty tasty. You put some bacon, a little spice, it pops. I don't think Brazil's not a country where I think like wow, it's so fancy. So I think the food that makes sense here is more salt of the earth type food.
True. Exactly. Yeah. That's very, very true. And anything you didn't like?
I don't like onions in food, even though Guy persuaded me to put it in the sauce. But yeah, I don't like onions. I don't like the crunch of like small onions. And you guys tend to put onions in like things.
We do.
Well, number 1 is garlic, which I like, but I never knew you could put garlic in 100% of everything you cook.
Yeah, we do it everywhere. Really. It's true.
Yeah, there are no,
I
yeah.
never realized that.
Yeah, no vampires in Brazil. You guys are good to go.
Gotta be safe, right?
It's garlic bonanza.
Oh god. And what about the sweets? Because that's one thing we got different, right? Like we
I don't like sweets.
right.
Yes, no, I'm not a big. I'm a steak and potato kind of guy.
Oh, right. Which is
So,
fair.
but my wife loves this stuff. So, and my son. So I get stuff from my students and from the schools, and so pretty much I just pass it on to either my students or my family.
Fair enough. I'm sure they're happy about that.
It's a good arrangement, right?
Yeah, that sounds good. Cool. And also Ilsa was saying that Patricia can make a very good caipirinha. And
Thank you.
yeah.
I don't remember. I don't recall Patricia making caipirinha for anybody. I think we
Really?
made drinks for Patricia, if I remember correctly.
I was
Oh.
the guest
Yes,
at your
yes,
place.
yes. And she was
So you gotta come this way to Ponta Grossa, then I'll make some caipirinha for you.
exactly.
That's true. Looking forward to it. And okay.
Ron, and
Yeah.
when you left the USA, like went back to Ohio, you had like it was the military stuff, and then you came to Brazil. What do you do nowadays? What's your job? What do you do for a living?
How many jobs do I have? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Let's see. So you have the private classes, right? I work with like 3 or 4 different companies, a lot in the food sector, meat industry. So I work with a lot of the plant managers, CFOs, this kind of stuff. So working, making sure that they're not. It's not just English. I think like language is one thing. Most of the problem people have is confidence. I push more confidence and making sure you believe in what talent you have. If you have it in Portuguese, why can't you have it in English? So I have this, and then I also work with a school where I teach 26 different courses in English. So I teach economics, government, history, everything that you don't have in the normal Brazilian curriculum. So I'm lucky it's a smaller school. The other schools that have this program, usually they have like 5, 6, 7 teachers. So I just get to work with myself, which is nice. So I teach freshmen, sophomore, junior, and seniors. And then when they graduate, they receive an American diploma and the Brazilian one at the same time. So they're that much ready.
and can you say the name of that school?
I work in Olambra. It's called Escola São Paulo. It's actually a Dutch school. It was formed by a bunch of Dutch families because it's the flower capital of almost Latin America, I think. They formed this because they wanted to have they really believe in education, and the school is actually still run by the parents. So there's a board of parents that make all the decisions for the school.
Wow. It's nice to hear such a thing, that there is something really nice and that sounds that it works in Brazil. Okay, sorry.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
but it
a
sounds
great
really
program.
Mm-hmm.
No, the school is how do you say? I've worked at some other schools and seen some other things, and I think some places you go, I'm sure you guys have jobs where people try to micromanage you, and I can tell you that first time in Brazil, this was the first time someone didn't try to micromanage me. They said, "Hey, Ron, we're implementing this program. Can you make it work?" I said, "Of course." And 4 years later, it's doing really well, and they're going to implement middle school programs soon as well. So the idea is to make the school as bilingual as possible.
Wow. Awesome. So that's in Alhambra, and it's
Right.
a school.
That's my afternoons. I have translation contracts, so I work with FedEx. So I do this every day. I do like a bulletin, where they send me the newspaper articles that are relevant to the company, and then I translate that every day for them. I do also translations for many other things, lots of like contracts, everything. What else do I do? I don't know. Like, yes. So this keeps me pretty busy. I try to usually work around 7 a.m. to 10 at night, and then prep, while I'm sleeping.
The high school in Alhambra, like now, I guess everything is online, yeah?
Yes, my son actually went back because I think São Paulo has the 35% rule for kids from K through 3rd grade. So he's back, but it's not the same, but he's much happier because I think for younger kids, not having the social interaction it really hurts.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I see. Okay. So the high school that you teach, those 26 different courses, it was not online before the...
No, but it's like but we were prepared because all of our books are online. And to get the diploma from the US, so we have a connection with Missouri, the college there. All right. So it's Mizzou. So what happens? All of our papers, all of the exams are graded there. They have to by law. And they also have to take a special government test to show that it's like a citizenship test. So they need to know like everything about the government there, which is funny because they normally don't know anything about the government here. So there's,
Right.
yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I give you guys the opportunity to ask any question
Oh,
because I will
yeah.
keep asking about methodology in school. Yeah, I'm a teacher.
Okay. What did you
And
think?
I'm really surprised in a positive way that
Mm.
there's this thing in Alhambra.
Oh, yeah, it's
We
nice.
passed by Alhambra after we left your place that Monday morning.
Yeah, it's
And
like really close. It's 30 minutes away. Well, 20 minutes for me because I drive a little fast.
really fast.
And what do you think about Portuguese? Was it hard to learn?
I don't like the language, to be honest with you.
Uh-huh.
I don't feel any connection to it. So when I say stuff in Portuguese, it means like there's no emotion behind it.
Uh-huh.
I think this is weird for me.
Yeah.
Now it's nothing. I think like the first 2 years I didn't learn anything because I kind of like secluded myself.
Mhm.
So I was missing the US. I was just watching TV in English. I wasn't joining groups. And then about it was like the end of the second year, third year, I joined the gym. I found a basketball team, and I needed to get away from my wife because when my wife is around me, I tend to let her do the talking. So I get lazy, like any student, you know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. And since then you've got more independent with your Portuguese.
Ah, yes, you because you have like street and day-to-day Portuguese. And the problem is like most of the Portuguese I use are from newspapers or translations is more formal.
Oh yeah.
So it doesn't make sense. Like, so there's no crossover. So that what I'm learning, sometimes the person doesn't even know the word exists in Portuguese,
Mm-hmm. It's like a third language.
basically. So yeah, for no reason.
Right? It's true, true. Cool. And can you like how is doing the translations? Is it
Super easy.
yeah, really?
Except when like I had problems when like Dilma used to talk, Lula, like any president from Brazil talks is like impossible to translate.
Oh, really?
Because they create their own language. And Dilma was the worst, I think, for me because it didn't make any sense what she was saying.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The sentence structure and like trying
Yeah.
to find it. Okay.
Because like that was the start of like pedalada and like if you have an objective, when you reach it, double it, whatever.
Yeah. We use it as a meme until today in Portuguese. So yeah,
man.
we find it funny too. So
But it's not funny when you have translations every day and I see like the news in my cell phone and I'm like, oh my God, Dilma said something. This is horrible.
and I have to translate it.
Yeah,
somehow.
exactly. The next day, yeah. And my translations are time sensitive. So if I don't send at a certain time, I lose money.
Really? How much
Yeah.
like how much time? Like for a page you have an hour or
They usually send it to me at least by 7 in the morning, and then I have to send by the latest I can send is 8:40.
Oh, yeah. Depending.
But it takes me 25 minutes to do though.
Mm-hmm.
It's two pages, about 600, 700 words.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. But cool, interesting.
Awesome, nice. I still keep thinking about about Dilma.
Bolsonaro's no different either. He says some silly things.
Oh yeah.
I said,
Oh yeah.
Cleverson in the room. He could say something about it, but okay.
Are we going to go to the next question here?
Yeah. One of the questions there. Do you support any teams? Like in Brazil?
You're talking about soccer?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, yeah. We but
That's all you have, right?
other sports are okay too. But yeah, it's pretty much just soccer.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I usually joke and tease my students and say that soccer is just a female sport. But like, if I had to support a team, I supported the Corinthians because my wife likes São Paulo, so I'm against my wife, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go, Cynthia. Corinthians.
Awesome. And there was one more there. Okay, and what do you think? How to teach English, or how do you learn English? What's the best way to do that?
It's like two questions. You want to know about how to teach it, or do you want to know how to learn it?
Oof. How to learn, I think.
Okay, there's two different ballparks.
Oh,
But
yes.
yeah, so how to learn English. So in 10 years in Brazil, one of the biggest problems I see when learning English is people study twice a week. I think it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of.
Uh-huh.
So I tell my students, if you're going to learn, if you cannot invest at least 3 times a week with a teacher or somebody, you're giving your money away. So just find their bank account and send it. You don't even have to go to class. That'll be the result. Sometimes people don't have money, so I say, okay, so you study once a week, then you need to, outside of the school, you need to set up a time, and then, communication with your teacher. So for me, the key for any language is immersion. And you need that immersion on a daily basis, and you need feedback, right? Because what's communication? You send a signal out, you send the jarble out, somebody reaches it, they catch it, and then they send it back, and then you make the face like, yeah, that's what I said, right?
Yeah.
That's simple for me.
Uh-huh.
If that's simple.
Awesome.
But yeah, that's cool. And yeah, so immersion
Like,
is the key word.
Yes.
Like usually people wait for like the key, the secret, the magical answer. It's frequency, and that's about everything you're trying to learn in your life, yeah, or everything you're practicing. It's about how often you do it.
Yeah, once or twice a week, I always say that's the maintenance. That's not growth. So for me, growth needs to come with more frequency, and maintenance can be once or twice a week. But I'm very frank with all my students in the beginning. They say, hey, when am I going to learn? What's going to go happen? I say, well, let me consult my crystal ball. I don't have one. So let me, have a few classes with you. That way I can understand your life. So usually the first 2 weeks with a student, I just want to know about your life. I want to know what time you wake up, what time do you go to bed, what does your job entail. I want to know every part of your life, good or bad. And then I'm able to create a lesson plan based off that and see where English fits into their life. And if it doesn't, then I'm just like, hey, I don't think it's going to work.
Very nice. Very interesting.
Yeah, it's sometimes, but some people get a little surprised with the, how do you say, the
The
direct
bluntness. Yeah, the
direct
direct,
method. Yeah.
That's fair. But I mean, yeah, it's in the end is like just how eventually they're gonna hear it. But yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to, as a teacher or even as a student, like everyone has their reputation. So don't sell yourself short just for a few classes.
True.
On both ends. I think it goes for the student and the teacher. So
I agree with you. And what about Ilse asked about the best way to teach?
the best way to teach for me when teaching, if I'm not connecting with the student, then I can't be their teacher. Like, so if I don't like feel like I can be a part of your life, then I don't accept the student. So for me, it's the connection. Like, I have to care about you. If I don't care about you, I can't be not, I want to use the word good teacher. I can't be the right fit for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think I should just like preview you guys. I talk to my students, like they send me messages at 2, 3 in the morning, 6 a.m. I don't have I have like an open door policy. If you send it, I'll answer it.
Oh, cool.
Nice. You know that there are more teachers in the room, but they're so silent by now.
Right.
It's usually why I don't tell people that I'm a teacher, because it changes the flow of the conversation.
Oh.
Oh, I forgot one other job I do. I do evaluations at companies, which makes people nervous. Yeah.
One thing, Carlos, we can't hear you. I don't think I don't know if your microphone is working. You're not muted, but we can't hear you. Yeah, it's strange.
No sound.
No, yet.
Maybe he has maybe the site is he has the Moodle on.
Yeah, even in Hangouts, no. I don't know.
Yeah, because usually if you right click on the top part, you can like mute the actual site so you can't hear.
It's not muted, but the sound doesn't come.
Sometimes if you leave the room and come back, it works.
Yeah. Sorry.
Not the physical room, the room online.
Yeah.
Try to take out the phone, the headphone, and speak just in the
Oh, unplug and plug it again. Maybe.
or in the cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
not
but when
working.
you enter the classroom though, he should have done the audio test, remember?
Oh,
Mhm.
also. Yeah. Also.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Wow.
Sorry. Yeah.
But the
Type.
trouble, if he wants
Yeah,
to
but-
troubleshoot it, you should just go to another site, go to YouTube, and see. Like you need to see if your sound is actually working, right? So you
Weird.
test in another site to see if it's working. You know, that's usually like step one of troubleshoot.
Fair enough. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
Not
I
yet.
can't hear you.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
And I can't read your lips.
Sorry.
Oh, can you type?
Yeah, there's a
It's-
chat too. But okay. And
But if he's on his computer, he can probably enter in his cell phone and enter the meeting as well, and maybe that'll work. It's another device.
also
A doc. Maybe if you leave the room and return, it might work.
But I think you would add, yeah. Maybe you can just tell him.
Okay.
okay. But we were saying I lost our
Only 14 minutes.
Oh yeah, it's not much time.
Okay. He.
Any
other questions?
Yes. Ooh.
These guys
Okay.
are extremely shy, though.
You see, yeah, and it is just. I mean, last week they were speaking more. It's weird. It's and we were
Are they
speaking.
No, just kidding. Kidding. Bro, let me ask you. We have just like 13 minutes and pet peeves.
Ooh.
Things about Brazil or Brazilian or whatever, or people, okay? Let's talk about like people on this planet. What kinds of things about like behavior really gets on your nerves?
Are you sure you want to open up this?
Bag of worms, a can of worms.
Nicely put, right? So, my top pet peeves in Brazil.
Oh.
So I think like one is like the proximity. I don't like people touching me. I don't like people behind me. Maybe a military thing. I don't know. But my students like now my students are graduating, and one of their gifts will be is a hug because I never hug them, and I still don't know if I want to give them a hug.
Thinking about it, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so this proximity and also I don't understand the kiss on the cheek. Like I'm not, yeah.
I mean,
Some places it's like 2 kisses. I don't get that either.
I'm sure you're happy with the pandemic that people not doing those things.
I was prepared, right?
It's good.
Yeah.
You know that some years ago, this thing was something that I confess that I practiced. Because when first time I met somebody and they would come to kiss my cheek, I would just like, like, hey.
Yeah, like I don't because in Brazil you don't have health class, right? So you don't hear the song "My body's my body, nobody but mine." Like I think you're missing that health class.
Oh,
So
I would
and you
say
guys are
so.
much more open here, yeah.
Oh,
So
yes. Oh,
it's
yes.
interesting. But that's a pet peeve. I think if I had to say another one, at the barbecues, I don't like to share. So I don't like cutting up a piece of meat and giving everybody a little piece. I want my piece. You can have your piece.
Good, good. I can appreciate that. It's
What else is like pet peeves? Like drinks. You guys like to share your drinks. For the love of God, I don't want to put my mouth on your drink. And not with the straw, right? You're like, they don't even have the courtesy to like, okay, you use this side, I'll use the straw. No.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. Like, oh, do you want to try it? It's really good. Yeah.
Or like a salgado. Do you want to bite? I'm not rich or anything, but I think I can buy my own salgado. I think I'll be okay.
To be fair, it's usually more of to be polite that
Yeah.
but we don't actually expect people to say yes, but yeah, I know it's true.
My students, I'm always bringing them candy, but everyone can have their part,
Uh,
I'm like, and then I don't eat candy, so that's another thing. They want me to eat candy with them. I'm like, no, I brought for you. I don't need to, eat the candy with you to be a success. Enjoy it. Trust me.
cool kids don't get candy.
Yes.
Dr. Carlos, can you try? Let's test your microphone.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hey.
I'm here.
welcome back.
It's a miracle. We should have pretended we couldn't hear him just for fun.
True.
So,
Does he have anything to say?
Oh yeah.
please.
No, I'm lost.
I mean, we're off topic, but yeah.
Yes, I'm.
Yeah.
I will in the next
Okay.
subject.
Fair enough.
Okay, no problem. But they say if you're lost, build a house, right? I think that's what they say.
True. Wise words.
Yeah.
And and do you know if your wife has any pet peeves about Americans, for example?
The reason we live in Brazil, I guess it would be interesting for you, is because my wife thought that she would never be taken seriously in the US
Oh.
as a Brazilian. Yeah. But she's very successful. She's a leader of the IT team for Heineken. She's the senior project managers. So she's grown a lot, and I expect her, why not director someday? So I think she chose the right path. I mean, it sucks, but in the US, we have a tendency when we see a foreign name or a foreign person to not take them seriously. I think that's why language is so important, because as soon as like someone thinks that your English is not good enough, they're judging you. They're putting you in a box. Whether you like it or not, the words you say, how you use them, how smooth it is, the fluidness of your language, this is you. Because nowadays we don't see people. We send emails, we send messages. Your words are you. So if you're not perfecting it, I mean, it's hard to grow.
Yeah.
I think someone has more dogs than me.
Oh yeah, I do. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's not mine even. It's my neighbors.
I don't have any neighbors.
It's a plus. Yeah, I would love to not have any neighbors right now, but yeah. It's. But I was gonna say there is even. I don't remember where was this from, but it was I guess it was a TV series that there was a woman saying like. She was not from the U.S. and she was telling the others, "You don't know how smart I am in my own language."
Yeah, in my own country. Yeah.
It's
But they don't
definitely
care.
frustrating. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, unfortunately. But I think that's why I really like working with executives. I learn a lot from younger people as well. But I think with them, the key thing is they're very nervous because they know they're under the spotlight, and so then you need to perform. You don't have the room for failure.
Ron, you mentioned that you also do some assessment, you evaluate, people.
Yes. I love to do that for a company.
Ilse just sent a message here saying that she would like to have her English evaluated by you someday.
Perfect. If she wants to, we can set up a meeting and do that. I don't know. You can give my phone number to them. You have, yeah?
I don't have yours. I
No?
just have your Instagram profile.
If they want to do that, but I think like WhatsApp is easier, right?
Yeah, it is.
I can put in the chat group and then they can take it down if they want.
Okay.
But go ahead, you guys. We have 6 minutes. Do you have any more questions? It's like TikTok, right?
Exactly. Well, before we finish this, Ron, what kind of message would you like to leave?
On the group or on the world? Like, what is this like? This is a
Yeah.
beauty pageant? Do I wish for world peace?
Your message to the world.
Got it covered.
No, I think like today, I think like what you're doing is I really enjoyed it. Like I told you when you came here, I said if you ever need any help, let's link up. I'm always for people growing. I think the key thing in Brazil is sometimes, even though you're not a competitive culture, you kind of don't want to see people succeed. And nothing more in life makes me happier than watching my students and the people around me grow. So if anybody here needs something or needs some help, I think you can send me a message. You can ask any student I've had in the 10 years here. If there's anything that I am, even though I look very serious sometimes, I'm always available. I think that's, as a teacher, or as a person, as a friend, that's the most you can do. Was that good? Do I win the award or?
Definitely. Yeah, you got it. It's
Cool. Cool. You're gonna talk more later.
Oh my.
Oh, here's the number.
Cool. Thank you. And nice.
You.
We still have there's
We
still
got three,
time.
like 3.5 minutes or
Aha,
something.
go
here.
on.
So while you guys prepare your final question, next Friday, usually at 8:30. Sometimes we have it at a different time, depending on the guest. Yeah, we have, because the differences of time.
Is it
Like-
always English, or you guys do other things as well?
Yeah, so far just in English. We have but we don't have the date yet. In German with Rudi and Gabriel, we are still arranging the date. And we would also like to have it in Italian, but we still don't have the date. And Fridays, we usually have it in English. We started in May, I guess. Can you remember, Arthur?
Yeah, it was just after we couldn't have classes in person anymore, and then
Yeah,
we
it was
we
like-
had the idea of doing it. So yeah, it was probably May, around May, and ever since, every week we're here.
What you guys think it's been pretty fruitful, or how do you think it's been so far?
Oh. Can you repeat the question? Didn't hear the last word.
No, how has it been so far? The feedback, has it been very fruitful? Do you see growth?
Yes, because remember I mentioned that about the classes. This is different from a class. Class, you are going to interact, you have the feedback, you have the corrections, you have like what you are practicing. This is more like informal, and they listen to people, somebody they know, and sometimes some people they don't know, and getting in contact with different accents, different people speaking, different voices, like
Different speeds. I think it's great, right?
And the greatest thing I would say is that with online talk, there is no distance. We've been talking to people who are in Canada, in other places, and you are living in Brazil, but you were born in America, and you are in Mogi Mirim, São Paulo, right?
Yes,
This
exactly.
moment. So it's nice. We love meeting people, and this thing about not always they are willing to ask questions, but they're here listening, and they can watch the episodes. Let's say it's recorded, so it has been fun.
Yeah,
It's
I think
encouraging
they can
them
gauge,
to
right?
come more to classes and study. I would say.
Is there anything else before we go? Like any final, trick questions? I was hoping for some. I actually, just so you guys know, because I don't like not being prepared. I used my students today, and we did a mock. We did a mock of this. Yeah, so I actually knew some of the questions you would ask already. We're pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, very nice. Well done.
yeah.
Well done. And
Sorry for disappointing
what
you.
was the craziest one you predicted? I mean, that
Actually,
we didn't
all the
ask.
things that you guys asked, we wrote them down.
Oh.
I knew.
Awesome.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I didn't say anything bad, because sometimes I'm,
Oh,
like I say, I don't have a filter.
We wouldn't mind. We wouldn't mind. It's okay.
No way. Ron, thank you so much for your time and your presence. It was really nice having
Hey,
you.
Pachi, anytime, you guys. It was really nice meeting you, Arthur, everybody.
You too.
Carlos, you said so much. But yeah, it was really great. If you guys need anything or need any help, just send me a message or get in touch with Pach. But really, it was great. It was worth, even though it's Friday, Thank God it's Friday during the pandemic, right? If it was like a real Friday, I don't know.
Yeah. And if you're ever free on a Friday, like I mean, apparently, yeah, busy Fridays, but if you don't have anything better to do, we'll be around.
Perfect. I don't know if that'll be like a low point of my life coming to the class then. Hey, but
I mean, yeah,
yeah.
we were drinking too, so it's almost like a hangout, right? It's
next time I'll drink though for sure.
Nice.
I was like I'll just stay sober this time.
Oh. That's awesome.
All right, you guys. Hey, I have to go. I need to go cook actually. So
Oh, good luck with
See you.
that.
Thank you so much.
thank you guys.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Hey, it was really enjoyable. See you, Poch.
Bye-bye.
You can send a message later saying how horrible it was. All right.
That's
Bye.
awesome. Say hi to Sheila.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. See you.